Hi, I'm Shreyan Sarkar from BBA Honors Department, Techno India University. So I have been assigned to make a PowerPoint presentation on organizational culture and to verbally detail about the same. So first of all, I would like to thank Sir Anup Kumar Ghosh for giving me this opportunity. I got to know about so many interesting facts. I have learned so many things while doing this project. So my heartfelt gratitude to Sir Anup Kumar Ghosh for putting all the efforts that I will never forget. I have made this PowerPoint presentation on organizational culture, and I have divided this PowerPoint presentation into 9 slides, and I'll be speaking about this particular PowerPoint presentation. So it's my request to all of you, please watch this video till the end. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So this PowerPoint presentation is all about organizational culture. So let's start with the basic meaning of organizational culture. Organizational culture refers to the shared values, beliefs, attitudes, behaviors, and practices that characterize an organization. Businesses with an organizational culture tend to be more successful than less structured companies because they have systems in place that promote employee performance, productivity, and engagement. In short, a positive and strong organizational culture can help promote employee engagement, productivity, and retention, while a negative and weak culture can lead to high turnover rates and poor organizational performance. Now let's move on to the next slide. Importance of organizational culture. So organizational culture has been the most important and relevant personality of an organization. When employees are engaged, motivated, and happy, they are more likely to provide excellent customer service. And customers are more likely to return to a business if they have a positive experience. So this can lead to a higher level of customer satisfaction and can also lead to increased revenue and growth. A positive organizational culture helps to create commitment and motivation among employees and also be able to attract and retain more employees, thus leading to a lower turnover rate and higher employee satisfaction. A positive organizational culture can generate positive media attention by creating a reputation for the organization. Also, organizational culture encourages collaboration, communication. When employees feel encouraged to work together, share ideas, and communicate openly, they are more likely to collaborate effectively and come up with innovative solutions to problems, thus leading to higher productivity and efficiency. Now let's move on to the next slide. How organizational cultures form. So here I've shown with the help of a diagram that how organizational cultures form. So here the founder's vision and values have the most significant impact on the culture of an organization. Their personal beliefs and philosophy helps in shaping the organizational culture. And the next important thing in this diagram is socialization. Socialization has been the most important part in forming organizational culture. Socialization is the process of integrating new employees into the company culture and helping them to understand the norms and expectation of the workplace. So this can help them feel more comfortable and confident in their role. Socialization is an important process for forming organizational culture. By helping new employees understand the company's values, goals, and expectation, socialization can encourage employees reinforce cultural norms, facilitate communication, and build a strong sense of organizational identity. Now, types of organizational culture. So there are 4 types of organizational culture. There are 4 types of organizational culture. Number 1 is clan culture. So clan culture refers to an organization that has family-like atmosphere. That means where collaboration and teamwork are key to achieve success. In this organizational culture, there is typically a strong significance of communication and relationship building. And basically, employees are encouraged to share their ideas and opinions freely. Clan culture is mainly focused on creating a positive work environment in which employees feel supported, valued, and engaged. The next culture is adhocracy culture. This organizational culture highlights innovation, creativity, and flexibility. An adhocracy culture is mainly focused on encouraging a culture of experimentation and continuous improvement where employees are engaged to take risks and explore ideas. Then comes the next organizational culture, that is the market. A market is mainly focused on promoting a culture of competition and where employees are encouraged to strive for excellence and to continuously improve their performance. So, this organizational culture is mainly focused on competition and achievements. Then comes the next organizational culture. Hierarchy cultures tend to be more formal and procedural than other types of culture, with a focus on maintaining order and following established protocols. This organizational culture can be effective in maintaining order and consistency in the organization. So now let's move on to the next slide. Levels of organizational culture. Number 1 is artifacts. Artifacts represent the visible, tangible elements of organizational culture, such as the physical environment, dress code, logos, and symbols. It do not necessarily represent the underlying values and belief of the organization, but they can convey a sense of organization's identity and culture. For example, organization with a casual dress code and an open office layout may indicate a culture that values creativity, collaboration, and a relaxed work environment. But on the other hand, an organization with a formal dress code may indicate a culture that values structure, professionalism, and respect for authority. The next level of organizational culture is espoused value. So these are an organization's stated values and rules of behavior, because this represent the intended culture of the organization. This plays a significant role in shaping an organization's culture and identity, as well as its relationship with employees, customers, and other stakeholders. The next one is the assumptions. This level is the deepest level of an organizational culture. This culture represents the underlying, often unspoken assumptions, beliefs, and values that guide behavior and decision making within the organization. So they shape the way people think, feel, and act within the organization. Now let's move on to the next slide. How employees learn organizational culture. Employees learn organizational cultures from stories. The word stories means that when employees get to work in the organization, they are free to know about the background of the workplace that they work in. So the stories related to conquests, successes, and failures of the organization, these stories provide prime example. Now let's move on to the next slide. How employees learn organizational culture. They learn organizational culture from stories. That means when an employees get to work in the organization, they are free to know about the background of the workplace, where they work in. So the stories related to successes and failures of the organization provide prime example so that employees can learn from. These organizational stories anchor the present in the past and provide explanations for current. Let's move on to the next slide. How employees learn organizational culture. So employees learn organizational cultures from stories. That means when employees get to work in the organization, they are free to know about the background of the workplace where they work in. So the stories related to conquests, successes and failures of that particular organization can provide prime examples from where the employees can learn. These organizational stories anchor the present in the past and provide explanations and legitimacy. Now let's move on to the next slide. How employees learn organizational culture. Employees learn organizational culture from stories. The word stories means that when employees get to work in the organization, they are free to know about the background of the workplace where they work in. So these stories related to conquests, successes and failures of the organization provide prime example so that employees can learn from. And these organizational stories anchor the present in the past and provide explanations and credibility for current practices and illustrate what is important to the organization. The second one is rituals. These are repetitive sequences of activities that express and reinforce the values of the organization. So repeated. And the second one is rituals. These are repetitive sequences of activities that express and reinforce the values of the organization. So repeated activities help the employees in learning the culture of the organization. And the third one is material symbols. Material symbols can serve as a powerful tool for shaping organizational culture and communicating cultural values to employees. By paying attention to these symbols, employees can gain a better understanding of the organizational culture. So, material symbol has been one of the most powerful tools for shaping organizational culture. And let's move on to the next slide. Let's move on to the next slide. How employees learn organizational culture. Employees learn organizational culture from stories. The word stories means that when employees get to work in the organization, they are free to know about the background of the workplace where they work in. These stories related to conquests, successes and failures of the particular organization provide prime example from where the employees can learn. And these organizational stories anchor the present in the past and provide explanations and credibility for current practices and illustrate what is important to the organization. And the next one is rituals. Rituals, these are the repetitive sequences of activities that express and reinforce the values of the organization. So, repeated activities help the employees in learning the culture of the organization. Then come the material symbols. By paying attention to these symbols, employees can gain a better understanding of the organization's culture. After that, the language. Language is basically verbal communication which is used to identify the culture of the organization. So to learn this language, all employees have to accept the culture in the organization that they are working for. In order to easily get involved in the culture of the organization, they have to know all of the language used in that particular organization. For example, if an employee work at the hotel, he or she have to know all the languages used in there. In short, when employees get to work in every organization, they have to adapt with the culture of each organization. So, organizational culture has been the most unique and relevant personalities of an organization. So companies who usually build a strong organizational culture will obviously see happier employees, will perceive better organizational performance, and obviously will lead to increased revenue and growth. So that's all from my side, and I would like to thank Sir Anup Kumar Ghosh again, and let me thank you all for your patience. I hope you all like it.